I know people are going to get mad. People always get mad when I bring this one up and they're like, how dare you tell me not to do this? But okay, remember, one of the jobs of an editor is to get rid of all confusion. And this is very confusing to the reader. And I did this in my second book. And instead of fan letters, which they were still kind of fan letters, I got a ton of letters that were like, hey, did you mean to do this? You slipped into this person's perspective right here. It was so upsetting to them. I didn't know. I was a new writer. I just didn't know what I was doing. But this is one of the things that will stop readers because it confuses them. And also they feel like you haven't put in the effort to show that the perspective has changed.
I find it less immersive when I read a book that does that. And I know one of the arguments I hear from people when you tell them not to do it is, oh, but so and so trad published author does it. That doesn't excuse it.
That's the excuse we hear for everything, right? Like,
well, yeah,
they don't want to follow rules because, listen, I just will say this. This is the thing, okay? Following rules does not make you less creative. And I think that's what a lot of authors are afraid of. These
yeah.
rules are to help you communicate with the reader better. And that's what you should want to do as a writer.
That was something I mentioned actually to Christina Stanley as well, because we were talking about some editing mistakes more from a dev perspective. And she said that certain authors can do it in the right way. But I think it is one of those cases you have to know the rules before you know how to break them, in the same way that you have to understand the structure of a story to be able to break it apart, or understand how poetry works to be able to break a poem apart or write your own that's not as rigid or kind of makes fun of a structure or plays with it, you know?